Welcome to Mexico City here at Astadia Matt Wilson Stadium. Hey everyone, I'm your play-by-play commentator tonight. My name is Damon Seaman. I have a good buddy of mine who's here in the booth with me, Eric E.K. Vincent. E.K., how has it been, my buddy? And please, can you give us your take on tonight's matchup between these two heavy hitters? 12th meeting all time between these two. They're in the top 5 when it comes to playoff games played, 20 for Baltimore, 19 for Mexico City. They're also both in the top 10 in playoff wins with 15 and 7, and both in the top 5 when it comes to championship wins. EK, what's on your mind?
Well, first of all, it's a pleasure to be in the booth with you. It's been a long time. I'm glad to be back in the booth with you, Damon. But as far as the game out there on the field, this is going to be a good one. These are two of the more storied franchises in our league. Even back to when Baltimore were the Crabs. For those of you that are new to our league, they had a previous iteration as the Crabs. They were gone for a season or two, came back as the Vultures, and they were a championship powerhouse. So there are even more meetings that we don't even have documented between these two teams. So it's going to be a knockdown, drag-out fight between both of these teams. Mexico City is sitting at 2-2. Baltimore at an unfamiliar 1-3, but still a very, very impressive team.
And here's Baltimore kicking it off to Mexico City. Received right at the 1-yard line. Crosses the 20, and they're going to start gameplay right at the 26-yard line. Let's go through offense for the Mexico City Aztecs. And we have quarterback Jordan Sipe. Halfbacks are Jacob Morrison and Ray Bentley, the Hall of Famer. Buford Van Dam is the fullback. Wide receivers Jason Bartley, Doug Spelling, Noah Terrazas. Tight ends Billy Henry and Ovante Richardson. We'll get to the offensive lineman here shortly, right after this first play. 1st and 10. Here is Sipe going to a pass play. Dumps it off to the fullback. Buford Van Dam picks up no yards on there. On the carry is Keenan Samuels.
Yeah, that was a good first play call, I think, there, Damon. Try and get your feet wet for Jordan Sipe, trying to get him an easy completion. We've seen Van Dam rumble on some of those plays there. Not to be on that one, though.
They're going to go single back formation here. Looks like a little pressure coming to the top out of this 4-3 defense from Baltimore. They're going gold helmets and black pants and white jerseys. Nice look here by Baltimore. Another dump off to the fullback. There's 2 passes to Van Dam, getting him in the game plan early, should we say.
Yeah, and Alvin Mack out there with a good open field tackle all 8 seasons here in Baltimore for him. And so far, it's been tough sledding for this Mexico City offense. They were hoping to have maybe a 3rd and short here, but instead a 3rd and 9.
Ball at the 27-yard line of Mexico City. Sipe caught in the center. Signals, has a man in motion down to the shorter end of the field here. 5-step drop. Side. Goes deep. Got a connection to number 11. Doug Spelling down the sideline to the 20, the 10. He just may score. And he does. And that's going to be a 73-yard touchdown. E.K. Vincent.
Just an impressive play there by Mexico City. A 3rd and long situation. You've got the middle linebacker coming in on the blitz. They've got zone coverage, just Baltimore on defense. And Jordan Sipe, just cool as a cucumber, stands in that pocket and fires it out to Doug Spelling. And Spelling just does the rest. A very interesting play call for those first 3 plays there for Mexico City, but they cap it off with a huge touchdown to start things off.
That was a crazy play to get things going, and I have to say it. Doug Spelling just crossed Hollywood Boulevard.
You wouldn't be you without saying that, Damon. You had to say it. So I'm glad you got that in there, my man.
Absolutely, absolutely. Man, I didn't know what to expect after Mexico City started off with the 2 dump off to the fullback, and then they go deep down the sideline to Spelling there to pick up the 73-yard touchdown play. Outstanding pass and catch for the Aztecs. Baltimore comes out on offense now. Offense, quarterback Jack Wigmore. Halfbacks are Warren Murray, Hubba Kimbrell, and fullback is T-Roy Gaines. Wide receiver Ivory Irvin, David Anderson, Daley Holder, and Mac Chima. Tight ends is Caesar Ackerman and Jackson Roberts. Get to the offensive lineman here shortly. Here's a 5-step drop here by Wigmore. Wigmore deep down the middle of the field. He got the receiver, and his Irvin comes up big on that reception. Wow, 2 big passing plays to start the first quarter.
Man, oh man, and Irvin is definitely the big play guy for this Vulture offense, and a great job by Wigmore to stand in the pocket and give his receivers some time to go ahead and find that hole in the defense. And a big play to start things off. 2 big plays, like you said, from both these teams early on.
42-yard pass and catch from Wigmore to, I take it back, it's not going to be 42. It's going to be a 38-yarder there. Here's a handoff here to the halfback. And that was Hubbard Kimber there with his first carry. Picks up 3 yards there on the carry.
Yeah, and Kimbrell coming over from Las Vegas from in the offseason. He's had 7 seasons in this league. Gives the Vultures a good 1-2 combo there, and then add T-Roy Gaines as a fullback. It's a very veritable backfield there for the Vultures.
I absolutely agree with you. Here's another handoff here. This time it's going to be to Warren Murray. His first carry of the game. Murray needs another 7 carries to reach 3,000 carries for his career.
And it's going to be important for Mexico City to go ahead and put a stop to this run game. They've got plenty of weapons on the outside for Wigmore to throw to, but Wigmore's been a little bit inconsistent so far this season, only completing about 51% of his passes.
3rd and 3 here. Wigmore on a 5-step drop. Dump it off to T-Roy Gaines. Gaines doesn't. Oh, they're going to give him the first down. EK. I think that's close. They may challenge this one here from Mexico.
It's close, but I think he did get it once you give him the forward progress there. Oh, Mexico City is going to challenge, though.
And look at there. Mike Daggs throws out the red flag with a little anchor there. While we're looking at the replay here, I want us to go off this offensive line. Sir Charles, Ray Arnold, and Olivia Bleeker, Alden Bleeker, Jay Arnold, and Don Johnson are the offensive linemen for Mexico City. Yeah, I don't think he got it, partner. It doesn't look like that ball crosses the yard to gain.
It's difficult to say because he broke that tackle from Brody, and then Max Jackson was able to lay the hit on him, but I think he might have gotten the forward progress after the Brody broken tackle.
And they're going to overturn it, but is that going to put Baltimore at 4th and inches?
Ooh, it
is. It is going to put Baltimore at 4th and inches. And the reason why I asked it, because that could have went either way. They could have not only challenged the spot of the ball, they could have challenged if the ball crossed the yard to gain or so. And here is Shark Tarkenton here for a field goal attempt. That kick is up, and it is good. And Tarkenton gets Baltimore on the board.
Yeah, and that's a very important challenge there, DeMond. You know, go ahead and throw that early, get the successful challenge, because Baltimore was moving the football pretty well. And Mexico City's defense holding strong against that backfield for Baltimore. And as you saw right there, stopped them just a little bit short after looking at that replay. So that's easily a 4-point swing in my mind.
Absolutely. And here's the return from the 5-yard line. Nice spin move right there. Tackled and brought down at the 31-yard line. Let's go with this Baltimore defense. And this defense has been pretty shaky, should we say, the start of the season. Robert Brady and Al Walker are your defensive end. Defensive tackles, they have 3 of them, EK, on this defensive line. Ralph LaPoule, Nate Brown, and Suron Yates, the 4th. Linebackers are Frank Smith, Keenan Samuels, Alvin Mack. They have a host of DBs, Ben Stackenpaper, Enzo Bolt, Irvin Hims, and Elijah Warfield are your cornerbacks, and your safeties are Sullivan Tyson, Giovanni Boat, and Troy LaShaw. Here's a handoff here to the fullback again, and he goes nowhere. Makes absolutely nowhere to go there. But as Baltimore's backers just showed up on that weak side of the defense for your 1-yard loss.
Yeah, and you touched on this defense, DeMond. It's a very puzzling defense, ranking top 5 in takeaways, but near the bottom of the league in all other statistical categories. It's very puzzling.
Here is Sipe. Sipe going deep once again over the head of his receiver. Incomplete, 3rd and 11.
Yeah, that was a dangerous throw there for Sipe. I know he's probably looking for that big play there. Bill Henry, a very interesting target to have for a quarterback like Sipe, and he's definitely had his fair share of targets over the past couple of weeks. Just maybe a little bit too saucy on that throw there.
Yeah. It's 3rd and 11. Sipe underneath the center. Going to roll out here to the bottom of the field. Gets a nice block there by the fullback. That pass is incomplete. 4th and 11. And as we were mentioning about Baltimore's defense is basically at the bottom of the league when it comes for points allowed. They're sitting at 24th. There's 25 teams in this league. 24, and they're giving up 28.8 points. That is a lot of points for this Baltimore Vultures defense, and that's something that you and I are not used to seeing.
No, certainly not. It's very surprising to see this Vultures team sitting where they are, especially on the defensive front, because the Vultures have always been a very tough defensive team.
And there's a return there by Kimbrell, and Baltimore will start at the 25-yard line. Defense for the Mexico City Aztec. Eric, if you don't mind, can you read those guys off for me?
Yeah, absolutely. We've got Evan Miller, Skylar Kingsley, Dan Tritz, and A.K. Jones. They are all on the front four there. Dexter Jackson, John Osiris, and Maurice Lloyd are the linebackers. Gerard Brody, Liam Ryan, Merrick Terra, the corners. We've got Jeffrey Daggs, Ben Charbs, and Max Jackson at safeties.
As a pass complete right across the middle of the field to Caesar Ackerman, the tight end, bursting 10 here for Baltimore.
And 2 Hall of Famers there on the backside there for Mexico City. This time, Dexter Jackson, the linebacker, all 9 seasons here with Mexico City, making the tackle there. That was just a good throw there by Wigmore. I don't think there was really any fault on the defense's end as far as that goes.
Here's Wigmore underneath the center in a I-wing Jokers formation here. Here is Warren Murray on the carry. He picks up 1 yard. 2nd and 9.
And again, there's Dexter Jackson right there. And we touched on it. Mexico City doing a good job so far putting a stop to this backfield of Baltimore, whether it's as receivers or running the football. Knock on wood, looking pretty good so far.
Baltimore comes out in a single back flex ace formation here. There's Wigmore. Once again, one-handed catch. But, oh my goodness. Mac Chima, what a reception.
But see, and that's the problem there, Demond. If you want to go ahead and go after the backfield for Baltimore, you got to be prepared to defend the backside of the offense. And Jackson just gets a little bit greedy there, going for the pick against Chima. If he maybe went for the hit rather than the football, might have jarred that loose, and the big play might have been prevented. But here we are, close to the red zone for Baltimore.
43-yard pickup on that pitch and catch. And maybe Jackson was going after a pass deflection as he's too shy of passing A.J. Levy. There's another pass. This time it's to Irving. Touchdown. No, we're going to give it to the goal line. Down to the 1. That's going to be a 20-yard gain there.
And it is feeling like that type of game early on, Demond. You know, the Mexico City defense, all right, you're going to shut down our backs, no problem. We've got 2-star receivers out there. They're going to catch anything that gets thrown to them. And so far, that has been the case with both these star receivers, Chima and Irvin, over 40 yards, and we're not even out of the first quarter yet.
Here is Baltimore. 1st and goal with T-Roy Gaines dotting the I. Or could we see a fullback dive to Hubbard Kimbrell? They're going to go roll out here. Wigmore all day to throw. He goes down at the 9-yard line. Sacked in the backfield by Evan Miller.
And Evan Miller just, Johnny on the spot there, just kept on working. And that's what you want to do as a defensive end. He gets his 3rd sack on the season, finally sees a window open and lays a hit on Wigmore. Just that's a coverage sack right there, Damon, and that's what you're looking for Mexico City.
He was double teamed, by the way. I'm not sure if you saw that or noticed it.
Yeah.
He was double teamed. They're not going to give him the 9. They're going to say he's at the 7-yard line is where the sack, the quarterback went down. In motion is tight end. 5-step drop here by Wigmore. Wigmore dumps it off to T-Roy in the flats. Nowhere to go. Tackle right at the line of scrimmage.
And it was a good defensive play call there by Mexico City. They were showing blitz. Instead, they backed out. Baltimore thought they had a good call with that screen that swing pass called on that play, but instead everybody was right in their places, ready to cover the edges. Brings up the third down.
I'm out in a bunch formation here is Baltimore. 3-2 dime is the defense. Pass caught, only going to be picked up a yard or two, and that's Irvin on the reception. And Baltimore is going to have to settle for another field goal. How big was that sack from Evan Miller?
Well, and it's been two different plays like that. First, it was the challenge from Mexico City to force the overturn, and then it was that sack there to force the field goal here.
Field goal attempt is up, and it is good. And Stark Tarkenton is on a roll. If I'm not mistaken, he is the #1 leader in field goals made here in the SFL.
He is indeed. And he has hit all 4 of his field goals now, including the 2 today this season.
So he goes over 330 field goals made with those 2 field goals today. That gives him 331 on the career. Congratulations to Stark Tarkenton for going over 330. As a return man, down and tackled at the 25-yard line.
And like I was saying, Demond, 2 key plays for Mexico City so far on defense is keeping them in the lead currently. It was that challenge on the first drive to keep Baltimore in a 4th and inches situation, and then that sack to go ahead and back Baltimore up, force them into a passing situation. That's why you see 6 on the board rather than maybe 14.
Absolutely. Good defensive stops from Mexico City. Sight gets pressured. That pass is almost deflected away, but man, the tight end comes away with that one and drills it in. That's Richardson on the reception.
Yeah, that's a toughie because Sipe will throw those type of balls, and you look at it and you're like, ooh, but sometimes he ends up getting away with them. That was one of those type of throws where you're not certain he should have thrown it, but it's okay.
Here is Sipe underneath the center. 4 of 6 on the day so far. Hand off to Ray Bentley. It's going to be his first carry of the game, and Ray goes nowhere. Brought down right at the line of scrimmage, or maybe picks up a yard.
Oh, Damon, that was open there. That off-tackle play was open. If Buford Van Dam gets out there just a little bit quicker and lands that block, I think Bentley is off to the races.
They come out in an eye spread here now. 4-2, Nichols, the defense for Baltimore. Sipe underneath the center. Go toss to the bottom side here. Give it to that fullback. Nowhere to go for Van Dam. Baltimore comes up big with that 3rd down stop. 4th and 4. Mexico City has the punt.
And that's Alvin Mack again. He has been all over the place as far as the run game is concerned. He has shut down Mexico City's rushing attack. And kudos to him because they're going to need him today.
Alvin Mack. I mean, that has to be like the all-time football name. I mean, I love that name, and it goes back to one of my favorite movies. I'm not going to really get too deep into the movie, but there was a character in the movie named Alvin Mack, and he played middle linebacker, and he wore the number 56.
That is a deep dive right there. That is a deep dive. We'll have to ask him about that.
He just may be the person who played the character.
Maybe. Who knows?
Yeah, right? 4-3 base defense, and man, there's a tackle in the back, but they're not going to give him the loss for it. But man, Dexter Jackson, I mean, a true veteran here in the SFL, comes up big on that tackle. He has 2 already on the day. Let's give him his 3rd.
Yeah, you got 2 star linebackers on either defense. You got Alvin Mack for Baltimore. You got Dexter Jackson for Mexico City. It's going to be a tough game.
It sure is. Pump fake, and down goes Wigmore again. Dan Tritz.
Well, he saw Evan Miller get his 3rd sack on the season, and he was like, hey, I want sack number 3. Gets in there, does a nice job there getting off his block, and then there was no one there to take care of Wigmore, and he gets slung down for a huge loss.
This this Mexico City defense has come to play, and that's going to be a tackle for loss for Tritz. He's at 105. They put him at 106. He need one more to tie Chad Tackle. Now, that's a name we haven't heard in a long time here in the SFL. Here's Wigmore. Goal is off the fingertips of the receiver.
And important to point out, Demond, they had 3 down linemen Mexico City did on defense, and they still got pressure into Wigmore's face. It is going to be a long afternoon for Baltimore if they're not able to block that front 3 there in passing situations.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. It's going to be a long day for them if they can't get these offensive linemen to pick up these key blocks. There's no reason for 5 offensive linemen should allow 3 defensive linemen to get pressured in the backfield on the quarterback.
Especially up the middle.
Mexico City is going to take over here. If you're new to the Simulation Football League, welcome. The SFL is football for everyone. Get off the sideline and start your player today by joining our Discord server at simulationfl.net. Click the join the community button and begin your career, or just to meet the stars on the field of the SFL or off the field. It's never too late to get involved. Handoff here to Van Dam. Van Dam picks up 2 yards to Keenan Samuels. Keenan Samuels had probably one of the best games of his career a few weeks ago in that big win Baltimore had over Seattle.
Yeah, Keenan Samuels is another very good linebacker, solid linebacker here for Baltimore. And that's why it's so puzzling, statistically speaking, why Baltimore is towards the bottom of this league in defense.
I formation here. Sipe on a 3-step drive. All-out blitz. Baltimore for the audible. And it's going to be a touchdown. He's going to dance before he gets himself in there. Touchdown, Noah Terrazas, as he crosses Hollywood Boulevard.
You know, Demond, I think they call that cajones here in Mexico. Correct me if I'm wrong, any of the locals. But, man, you're going to go ahead and do a little dance before you get into the end zone. Yeah, ooh, that does take some guts. But, look, Mexico City, they are living by the big play and dying by the big play. Kudos to Sipe for standing tall in there, a 0 blitz, and barely, but finding his man.
Yeah, no one on the back end of the coverage there. And you're right. It is cojones. And he has some big ones to be dancing like that before he crosses the line, the goal line there.
Not that I was disappointed to see it. I love to see a little bit of show bum. We don't get it enough in the SFL.
Mm-hmm. And here's the kickoff back to Baltimore. Baltimore has put together 2 good drives, right?
Yes.
They get down to the goal line and they allow a sack that pushes them about 7 yards back, and they just do not get into the end zone. Had to settle for their second field goal on their last drive. And Baltimore is not the last drive, the drive before the last, should we say. And they're back on the field now, starting at the 20-yard line. They're going to send a man in motion, and it's going to be Ackerman. Wigmore calling the signal. Takes a 5-step drop. Right down the middle of the field again. And he serves to the 40, the 30. He got one man to beat. Can he do it? Yes, sir. Get me across the goal line. I got a mission to complete.
Man, we got some fireworks here south of the border. Good grief. Ivory Irvin with another huge play. I don't know how he got so wide open. I would have to imagine it was just a busted coverage because both of the defensive backs in that situation, Dags is playing up extremely close to the line of scrimmage and is sinking down as the ball is flying through the air. Irvin is already 5 yards past him at that point. It is that very puzzling defensive play call there for Mexico City, but Baltimore the beneficiary of yet another big play early on.
Yeah, it looks like Jeffrey Dags was somewhat in a cover 3 concept there. And they're going to go for 2 here, partner. Here we go. Hand off right up the middle. Touchdown. Not touchdown. I guess 2-point conversion completed. It's going to be from one of the backup running backs on this squad. And that's going to tie the ball game.
It is going to be that type of game, my friend. Like, it's just so many strange things are happening early on. You go for 2 that early, And you got your backup running back in the game. Not Kimbrel, not Murray, not even T-Roy Cage. You got your backup running back in the game to do that 2-point conversion. And we've seen more than our fair share of fireworks early on.
Wow. And Mexico City takes. I'm lost of words here. I want to say that pass to Irvin, was that the first play of the drive?
I think it was. Yeah, it was. It was 80-yard score.
That's an 80-yard score. I mean, that's the second big. Wigmore already has 197 yards passing here in the first quarter. Here is Ray Bentley. Ray, full head of steam, picks up 6 yards. Wigmore is averaging yards per attempt, 21.9, EK.
89% completion rating, too, came in to this game. Only 51% completed.
And that's going to do it here in the first quarter. You're watching the Simulation Football League presented by APM Music. Hey, everyone. Welcome back. My name is Damon Simmons, your play-by-play commentator. Here in the booth with me is Eric E.K. Vincent. On stats, we have Justin Reside. Thanks, Justin, along with Ron Haynes. Two of the best statisticians here in the SFL. Mexico City takes over at their own 30-yard line. Handoff here to Bentley. Bentley gets held up behind the fullback. It's going to pick up only 1 yard.
Yeah, and that was tough because Navonte Richardson actually landed a pretty decent block there that would have sprung Bentley free. Just kind of got a little hung up there with Van Dam trying to get his block. There's been some growing pains here with this running game here this evening. We'll have to see if they get those corrected.
Gonna go screen here. Does not dump it off. Gonna go take a chance down the field. Why not? Down to the 37, 38-yard line. Wow, what a pass from Jordan Sipe to tight end Bill Henry.
I mean, what else can you say, Damond? We are just getting all the big pass play, which is strange. Like, we should not have this type of game. Both these teams very content with running the football, and yet we are seeing all sorts of it's basically basketball on grass at this point. But Bill Henry, a great job there, great route. Sipe has been looking for him nonstop over the past few games, and it's continuing here this evening.
If my math is correct, that is a 28-yard completion. Here is Sipe once again. That pass is going to be incomplete. Wow, these two quarterbacks, man, they have me on the edge of my seat.
I mean, how could you not be at this point? You know, we're just seeing all sorts of crazy plays.
Sipe is averaging 18.9 yards per attempt. Wigmore, 21.9 yards per attempt. Both of these QBs are over 150 yards already at the top of the second quarter.
Bananas.
Here is Jordan Sipe. No pressure. Sipe has all there to throw. Wide open. Jason Bartley down the sideline. What a catch. Basically, what a throw from Sipe.
And Jordan Sipe looking very confident this evening with the way he's throwing the football. Stands there confidently, knows that his offensive line has the defense covered for Baltimore, and he just waits for Bartley to get open. He could have thrown it, honestly, a little bit deeper there if he wanted to try and throw a little bit gutsier of a throw. Instead, he throws it a little bit short where he knows the window is, and Bartley makes the catch. Big gain regardless.
AK, another 20-plus yard play by this offense. 25 yards on that completion from Sipe to Bartley. 5-step drop. Oh, it's going to be incomplete by none other than Alvin Mack.
Man, and Damond, we were talking about Alvin Mack. He's been very, very good in the run game. This time showing off a little flash in the pass game. Bartley was coming across there, and I don't know if Sipe even saw Alvin Mack just sitting there waiting for that pass to be thrown. Good hands by the linebacker, and a big turnover here for Baltimore.
Great catch there by the middle linebacker. You don't see that too much by these backers here in this league. But, man, he jumped for it. Showed athleticism as well. One-step drop by Wigmore. That pass goes off the shoulders of Irvin.
Yeah, that's tough to say if that one's on the quarterback or that one's on Irvin there. But either way, got to complete those. Had a step on the defender, and I think he was in coverage with the linebacker as well. So got to have those type of plays there if that's the matchup that you've got.
As we saw Coach T-Pat, or Coach Patanetti, always coaching his guys up. Always. Great guy as well. Here's Wigmore, handoff here to Warren Murray. Murray picks up 2 yards there on the carry. Goes down at the 13.
And we've seen that defensive formation a couple different times for the Aztecs here tonight. They'll go ahead and they'll bring down the outside linebackers towards the defensive line. They will act like they're blitzing. Instead, they'll either back out into coverage or they'll stand pat. In that particular situation, they stood pat and they were able to stop the run easily.
The 5-step drop gets pressured. That pass goes off the helmet of Dexter Jackson.
Well, that's one way to get a pass deflection, I guess. But, man, I don't know where Jack Wigmore was throwing that football. There was so much green, and I'm not talking about grass. There was so much green in that area there. There was no reason for him to throw that football.
None at all. Here's going to be a punt by Baltimore. We have a game update. We're going to send it over to Cameron Irvine back at SFL Studios.
Thank you, Damon. Louisiana and Seattle, an opposite game of what you're seeing. Ty Patak has moved the football on Louisiana's defense. 14 first downs in the first half, but Seattle has only 7 points to show for it. 7-0 in the third. Back to you guys in Mexico City.
Thank you, Cameron Irvine, producer extraordinaire, with that game break, showing us that action of the Revs and the Nemesis. I-Twins here for Mexico City. Ball game all tied up, 14-all. 2-step drop, dumps it off to Van Dam. Van Dam has Boat on his back, and he carries him down the field for a 7-yard gain.
And that's the idea with that play call, Damon, is that you want to get your big hefty out there. Buford Van Dam, 6'4", 255. There's not too many guys in this league that are going to be able to get him down when Van Dam's got a head of speed. So go ahead and keep tossing him out in that little fullback screen there. Some magic will happen.
Mm-hmm. Yep, there's Ray Bentley cutting it upfield. We just see the stiff arm. My goodness. Looking like King Derrick Henry on that stiff arm play there.
Yeah, and that's why he's a Hall of Famer there. Good patient running there, following his blocks, and he'll throw the stiff arm as well to create some extra space. Easily one of the best runs we've seen so far for the Aztecs tonight.
Absolutely. 1st and 10 here for Jordan Sight. Got Twins to his left. It's going to be a toss to the backup running back that is. And he's going to, that is the backup, halfback of Jacob Morrison. And he's going to pick up 4 yards there.
Yeah, and I think if Morrison didn't spin back to the inside, he had a little bit more green grass available to him. Wide receiver made a good block there on that far sideline. I think if he just followed that block just off his butt there, he'd probably be in the end zone. But that comes from being a young running back in the SFL.
They're going to put a man in motion. It's going to be Noah Terrazas going down to the bottom of the field. Handoff here to Bentley. Bentley got open field ahead of him to the 10, the 5, the touchdown. He crosses Hollywood Boulevard. His first touchdown of the night goes Ray Bentley to put Mexico City up by 6 with 6:13 left on the clock in the first half.
And you'll see, hopefully, big number 78, Jonathan Goodwin just laying out the defender right there on his butt. Ray Bentley stops because he doesn't know what to do. He's looking at the defender on the ground like, oh, okay, I guess I'm going the other way. Finds a hole, very patient run once again from the Hall of Famer, and there was nobody along that near sideline after that.
Ray Bentley doing Ray Bentley things, as they like to say. And that gives Ray 126 touchdowns on his career, sitting at number 6 in the SFL rankings. He's moving up the chart. DJ Moses, get ready because Ray Bentley is closing in on you.
And that's number 4 on the season for him thus far.
Yep. And Baltimore is going to start the drive here at the 26-yard line. Liking the game so far? Smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. The SFL produces over 400 events a year. There is no one else that gives you more football. Don't miss a minute of SFL or SFL in action and help the channel grow through your support and the YouTube algorithm by liking the video. Baltimore start off at their own 26-yard line. They're going to go single back twins here. Handoff here to Warren Murray. Murray has blocks upfield, picks up 5 yards on the carry before being brought down by Jeffrey Daggs.
Good run there on first down. Good play call for Baltimore. Good blocking up front. Ends up being a nice 5-yard gain for Murray. And he is 3 shy now of hitting career number 3,000 as far as carries go.
2nd and 5. T-Roy gains in the backfield. They're going to give it to the fullback, Kimbrell. Twisted the dude name up, right? I think I'm going to receive a DM from him. He messed my name up, man. Cool guy. He sent me a message a few weeks ago. I think it was last week. Hey, we're not cool no more? It's T-Roy Gaines picking up the first down. He's like, I haven't heard from you in a while, man.
Well, if you're going to mess his name up, then, I mean, shoot, what's he supposed to think at this point?
Exactly. T-Roy picks up that first down, 1st and 10. Baltimore at their own 41-yard line. Jack Whitmore calling the signal. Here's a toss play here to Warren Murray. Murray spins and then being brought down after picking up 3 yards there by Dexter Jackson.
And that's just a good play by Dexter Jackson. Your inside linebacker able to quickly get off the block in the middle of the field, especially when he is the lone line of defense there. You saw the formation that the defensive line had wide open there in the middle, just like that, and he was able to bounce outside and make the stop.
Handoff here to Hubba Kimbrough. And looks like he picks up maybe 1 yard.
And he does it again. Demond. Even slips on that play this time. Still able to get his feet and get to the running back and make the stop right at the line of scrimmage. You see his numbers tonight. He's been all over the field so far.
Wigmore on a 5-step drive. Throws across the field. Is incomplete. Couldn't see who the intended receiver was. But the pass is broken up by the Mexico City Aztecs defense. And give credit to Gerard Brody.
Yeah, Brody out there in coverage, and looks like they're making some adjustments on the fly to prevent these big plays that Baltimore has been getting through the air. Hopefully, Mexico City, for them, they'll be able to get a big return here and not get pinned back.
Baltimore punts this one off to Mexico City. I'm not sure if you saw this, partner, but I just saw it for the first time. And you and I, we took a tour around this stadium, but I must have missed it. There's a large temple, like the temple that's down in Mexico, the big Aztec temple. Did you see that?
Yeah.
It's sitting in the back of the end zone. Like, wow, how did I miss that?
Adds to the ambiance of Estadio Mass Wilson.
They're gonna go doubles left here. Mexico City, that is. Handoff here to Bentley. Bentley going to lose 2 yards still on the carry.
And Alvin Mack, first one there to make the hit. Even though Bentley was able to shrug him off, it slowed him down just enough there to get the rest of his defensive mates out there and making the stop, the TFL. So a good job there by Baltimore to make the stop in the open field.
Going to go split spread here. Brings out the nickel defense. They're going to bring a blitz. Baltimore, that is. Oh, I thought it was picked off, but no. It's spilling down the sideline to the 47.
And that's the second big play by Doug Spelling. Just a great catch there. Able to snag the football behind the defender's back, basically. Actually, his front. But then turning back towards the sideline away from danger. It was a good throw by Sipe, threw it right where Spelling was able to make the catch, And as you see, spelling already over the century mark.
Yep, I just saw that. Like, wow. That is hilarious. Spelling is having himself such a day here in the first half. Here is Van Dam. Van Dam does get a block. Picks up 3 yards on the carry.
Yeah, and they're going to have to get Van Dam going a little bit. It seems like he's very prevalent in the run game here for this evening, as he's come in with 34 carries, but he just averages just shy of 4 yards a clip. So they're going to have to get him going a little bit more.
There's a 5-step drop here by Sipe. Dumps it off to Bentley in the backfield. Bentley gets tackled after picking up 2 yards there.
And that's all right.
Alvin Mack again.
Yeah, Alvin Mack has just been playing lights out. Dexter Jackson has been doing the same for Mexico City on the defensive end for them. And that's an all right play call there for the Aztecs. They're trying to keep themselves ahead of schedule here. They're setting themselves up with a third manageable, relatively open playbook here.
Van Dam in the backfield again. He goes out on the routes. Oh, intercepted by Alvin Mack again. His second of the evening. Down to Baltimore's 42-yard line.
And Sipe is going to have to reevaluate how he's throwing the football over the middle of the field, because that's, as you said, that's twice now that Mack was able to make an interception. Now, this one, a little bit more athletic than the last, where basically Sipe just threw it to him. But either way, Sipe's going to have to get that retooled.
That's going to be it. Not for the quarter, but that's the 2-minute warning. And here's a little nugget for you. That interception there by Alvin Mack, his second on the night, guess what? Both interceptions happened on Baltimore end of the field.
That's a killer.
So they mean that the offense of Mexico City is, progressing down the field, but in enemy territory, they're not getting it done. That's T.Y. Gaines with a 6-yard run there.
Well, and we've seen that with both teams, right? The first couple of drives that Baltimore had, they had stalled out due to either a challenge or a sack or what have you. They've rebounded nicely, but now it looks like a little bit of the bad juju on Mexico City's end, where they're throwing picks where they shouldn't.
Warren Murray back in the backfield.
See if they back out into pass coverage.
They're going to hand it off to Murray here. Murray does not get the first down, too shy of it.
And instead, it looked like the backers stayed put once again on that formation. Couldn't tell if they were going to back out into pass or not. If they did, then it was probably going to be a huge play for the Vultures.
Single back formation here again. 5-step drive. Got a reception to Ackerman right across the middle of the field to the tight end. And that's going to stop the clock there. Baltimore's going to call for a timeout there. Second here in the first half.
Good quick decision by Wigmore to go over the middle of the field. It was an open play there. Good catch by Ackerman to give him the first down, and a quick timeout there. They're already in Mexico City territory.
As you just mentioned, they're in Mexico City territory, sitting right at the 39-yard line of Mexico City. Wigmore underneath the center. 3-step drop. That pass is deflected away. Looks like Dexter Jackson got his hand on it. And yes, it was Jackson there. That could have been dangerous.
Yeah, I was very curious as to what was going to happen defensively for Mexico City. If you look down towards the near sideline, they were playing very far off as far as the secondary is concerned. They're doing it once more here. Down here at the very bottom of the formation, they're playing off quite a bit. Got to watch for that.
They sure are. And this is the same formation Baltimore was just in on the previous play. That pass is caught to Irvin down to the 15. Baltimore calls a timeout, 24-yard pickup on that play.
Yeah, and I think Wigmore is seeing that, Demond. I think he's seeing that Mexico City is giving him a bit of a cushion, so he knows he can go ahead and throw that quick slant. He can throw that post. He has open space in the middle of the field. He could even go one-on-one here if he chooses to.
Irvin over 150 receiving yards on the day. Same formation, and Mexico City is playing deep off, as you mentioned. Oh, that pass went straight into the chest of Brody, and Brody was not able to bring it in.
And that's Daly Holder that's down there at that bottom of formation there. And he is just coming wide open there every time that they're running this pass play. I wonder if Wigmore is eventually going to take a peek his way.
You're going to go empty formation here. Looks like straight open. Passes deflected away. This time by Liam Ryan on the deflection.
And maybe that's the defensive play call, Damon. Maybe that's what they're going with, Mexico City is. Maybe they're trying to clamp down over the middle of the field because they know that Wigmore is going to want to go there. He's certainly shown the tendency to do that over the past few plays. Maybe he doesn't want to go to the outside. We'll see.
I think you're right, because that's where he has target basically all game long, right down the middle of the field. And here's Jack Wigmore again. That pass is going to be caught by Irvin. He's going to be tackled before picking up the first down. 4th and 3, and they have to waste their last time out here so they can get the field goal unit on the field.
And that's disappointing if you're Baltimore there to set up shop after that big play there to Ackerman to the 39-yard line. You only go maybe about another 20 yards and got to settle for a field goal. That's disappointing, I think.
Yeah, but I think I wouldn't have called a timeout there. The reason being because there's still 30-some seconds. The 37, it was 40. Now it's 37 seconds left on the clock. I would have just let the clock run down, slowly brought my field goal unit on,
That's a good point. That's a good point. Clock management, I mean, we've seen it bite the behinds of several teams in this league over the course of time. So we'll see if that's the case here for the Vultures. But they do tack on 3.
35-yard field goal goes through for the Vultures. Their 3rd of the day.
And Damon, Mexico City's still got 3 timeouts to work with and 37 seconds. So we'll see if they can maybe get a big play here and, possibly get some points on the board before the half.
I've seen a team here in the SFL a few weeks ago march down the field in 25 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
So 37 seconds is a long time to have on the clock, especially when you have 3 timeouts in your back pocket. That pass is going to be incomplete, as it was intended for Noah Terrazas.
A bit of a misjudge, I think, on that throw. I think Sipe wanted to loft it a little bit, had a little bit too much loft there. Not quite the throw that you want to have in that particular situation, but fortunate for him, it hits the turf. He lives to fight another day.
Mike Daggs in the chat's calling for an 80-yard touchdown run.
We'll see.
Here is Sipe on a 3-step drop. Drops back some more due to the pressure he received. That pass is caught by Jason Bartley. Gets out of bounds. Stops the clock at 29 seconds. 3rd and 5.
Good job there by Bartley along that far sideline to get the toe in and make that catch along that far sideline. Was not a great throw by Sipe, as you said, influenced by the pressure up front. But a good catch there nonetheless, and that'll stop the clock without them having to use any timeouts.
Man, this quarterback must see something down the middle of the field for him to have 154 yards in the first half, just down the middle.
Yes, sir.
216 on the day so far for Sipe. Sipe with a little spin move, dumps it off to the receiver right across the middle. And that's basically probably going to do it for the half here.
Yeah, and I think that's a good decision by Sipe. He didn't see anything he liked. There was pressure coming. Go with the safe option. He was open. Go ahead and dump it off. Just let the time run out.
Question, do you punt this? Or do you just let the time run out? I would just let the time run out.
Just let it run.
I don't want to put the ball in the hands of any dangerous person back there to return and to give Baltimore any type of leverage of taking the lead in this game. Look at the outfits by the Aztec cheerleaders. Look at the boots.
That is A1 right there. That is A1. Love it.
Wow. Well, here are your SFL halftime stats presented by APM Music. Few snapshots there. Wigmore has been having himself a day. 11 of 18 is what we have so far for 230 yards. But man, a lot of his yardage and targets are heading towards Ivory Irvin, but you can't blame him. The guy got 164 on the day.
It's been feast or famine in the passing game, honestly, truly, for Baltimore. Wigmore was looking great. He was looking on fire, completed about 89, 90% of his passes. And he's sitting at the 61% range right now. And it's mainly because of that, man, that he got all that passing yards. As you said, Demond, over 160 yards for Irvin in that first half and a touchdown grab. So we'll have to see how Mexico City responds defensively. We've already seen it a little bit, giving them the outside, but not necessarily giving them the middle of the field.
Yeah, absolutely. Also, Warren Murray had 7 carries in that first half. Needs one more to tie. One more for first. I'm sorry. Had 7 in the first half and 1 away from 3,000 on his career. And this Mexico City Aztec team had a great outing in the first half as we saw Sipe throw for 218 yards. And there's Kimbrell there on the return, and he goes down right at the 31-yard line. We have a game upbreak. We're going to send it right back to Cameron Irvine back at SFL Studios and headquarters.
Thank you, Damon. I got a double dip of creative play calling here. Louisiana down 7-0 in the third quarter, and Tommy Utah flips this out to Cameron Collier to tie the game. Then right after that, on Seattle's ensuing possession, type attack from 1 yard out, gets creative with a touchdown run that puts Seattle right there up 14-7. Louisiana's back in the red zone. The offenses have come to life. Back to you in Mexico.
Thank you, Cameron Irvine, for that game update. And I have to say, Seattle is probably the only team that uses their quarterback in the run game like that. And he has been very successful with it, as we saw him last season in his rookie stint.
Yeah, definitely. Patak is definitely one of those running quarterbacks. We've seen Sipe do that from time to time. I know my Fort Worth Toros, Marcus Dunhill, will go ahead and take off and run. He's got some wheels to him. So it's becoming more and more prevalent here in this league.
Here is T-Roy Gaines. Nice stiff arm there by Gaines. Picks up 5.
And that's all you can ask for. When you're sitting at a second and long situation, go ahead and get as much as you possibly can. 5-6 yards will do the trick, and that's exactly what T-Roy does there. Sets up Baltimore with third and manageable.
Here's Wigmore on a 5-step drop. Got his lineman in his lap. Oh, but he still completes the pass to Irvin. Wow.
that is the secret sauce here tonight, Damon. Ivory Irvin is just otherworldly tonight. I don't know how he's doing it. I really don't. And Wigmore's doing a great job, especially with these type of situations where he's got extra guys coming for him. He knows that the pressure is collapsing around him, and he still has the poise to complete those passes. Once again, it's been feast or famine in the passing game for the Vultures. They feasting right now.
They are. Twins here. Wigmore on a 5-step drop, dumps it off to Ackerman right across the middle, picks up 8 yards down to the 30-yard line.
And again, good job by Wigmore. Knew he was going to take the hit, knew the pressure was coming, free blitzer, and he finds his open tight end, Ackerman, over the middle of the field. It's just great numbers for Wigmore. This is looking like, MVP season, Jack Wigmore, back in season 17.
Here it is. Here is Murray. You can give him the go. You can give him the go-ahead and call him Mr. 3000, as he has just reached 3,000 carries on his career.
Took the words right out of my mouth, Damon. Congratulations to Warren Murray, Mr. 3000 himself, 3,000 carries on his career. Here's to many, many more for him.
Split spread here by this Baltimore offense. 4-2 nickel defense here for Mexico City. How about Kimbrell? Breaks a few tackles, picks up 3 yards there. Nice hard run.
Yep, that's a good, tough run, and that's what Baltimore saw in him when he came over from Las Vegas in the offseason. I touched on it a little bit before. They've got a 3-headed monster back there in the backfield with Hall of Famer T-Roy Gaines, Warren Murray, and Hubba Kimbrell as the halfbacks. Very, very interesting backfield there for the Vultures.
Warren Murray dots the I. Back in at halfback. Ackerman in at tight end. Ackerman, it looks like he took a shot as he tried to get a one-hand grab on that catch.
Yeah, Osiris was out there on the coverage along with plenty of others. There were at least 3 jerseys in that area. I'm not sure what Mexico City saw, but they were 100% looking that way and knew that Wigmore was going to throw it over the middle, forces the incompletion.
Here's Wigmore on a 5-step drop. Nice protection. Nice pocket, guys. Ackerman, touchdown. What a catch. And that, my friend, is going to be your retro nice hands catch of the game.
Yeah, and we'll get one more look at it, Damon. But man, Ackerman, the tight ends are not supposed to have this soft of hands. But look at this, just goes right up over the Hall of Famer Jeffrey Daggs, snags the football, takes the hit from the other Hall of Famer Max Jackson, and gets himself into the end zone. Great play by Caesar Ackerman.
That's the nice hands catch brought to you by Retroid. Put a Retroid in your hand. Put a Retroid handheld in your hands and play the only video game of the with your player in the SFL in a 4K 23. And the reason I gave him the Retroid hands catch of the game is because the way he went up between two people to make that catch and the hit he took afterwards. Great job by holding on to the ball, Ackerman, to get your team the touchdown, to go up by 3. Baltimore has taken the lead for the first time in this game.
And through 2 Hall of Famers to boot, by the way.
Yeah. Mexico City takes over at their 29. Also, Baltimore is sitting at 24 points. They averaged 24.3 per game this season. Mexico City is sitting at 21. They averaged 23.8. Can Mexico City get over that threshold of 23?
It's difficult to say. I mean, they've definitely been playing like the Baltimore Vultures of old here tonight, and a great job coming back in this football game. Mexico City's got to respond.
Last drive, 8 plays, 77 yards, 3 runs, and 3 pass plays. Here's a pass right down the middle to Terrazas.
And that's a response there, Damon. That was a laser to Noe Terrazas right here, and he holds on to the football, takes the big hit there from Giovanni Bolt. A nice job there for Mexico City to get an early first down.
First and 10 for Mexico City. Jordan Sipe already at 233 yards on the day at the 44-yard line. Sipe goes back to throw. His offensive lineman is sitting in his lap, man. I mean, they were in his pockets.
Yeah, the timer's got to be going off if you're Jordan Sipe, and I think the timer went off just a little bit too late in his head there. Frank Smith out there in coverage, waiting to pick that football off. Honestly, truly, and again, that's why they call it armchair quarterbacking. I would have tossed it over to Buford Van Dam. He had some green out in front of him coming out of the flat, but I don't think Sipe saw him on his backside.
Van Dam does dots the I here in this I formation twins, and they're going to put Jason Bartley in motion to the top of the field. And Stacking Paper jumps up on him. We haven't called Stacking Paper name much here today. Here's Jordan Sipe right down the middle. There's Bartley on a post route right down the middle. I'm pretty sure 200 of his yards are from the middle of the field.
And I mean, you're seeing why Jordan Sipe is making good decisions. He's seeing that they're in some sort of zone coverage here. Bartley comes over the middle of the field, just finds a nice pocket in the middle of the zone, and Sipe throws an accurate ball on time. And you see the numbers there that the only thorn in his side has been Alvin Mack, who's gotten both of those picks.
Here's Sipe once again. Single back formation, pair slide, another pass. Oh, it's going to be incomplete. I thought it was pulled in by Bill Henry, but no.
Nah, the hit jarred the football loose there. Good job by Baltimore to make that hit and force the incompletion. Bill Henry usually with very sure hands.
And I must say, partner, we have been seeing some hits. Is it me or is Ray Bentley the only one on this Aztec team with gold outline on the decal of his helmet?
That could be a nod to the Hall of Famer.
And that's what I was going to say. But Bill Henry does come up with a big catch there. I've seen that several times, and I didn't say anything because I didn't want to be unsure of myself. But I saw it again as he was lined up in the backfield. I was like, it looks like he has gold decal on his helmet. If we get a close-up shot here, look right in the front of it. That's not Bentley in. That is Van Dam, 48. 4-3 nickel deep. I'm sorry, 4-3 base defense here for Baltimore. Sipe at the 31-yard line. And the Aztecs. Van Dam breaks a tackle, breaks another, and he drags one guy on his back. Giovanni Boat, that is.
And that's the type of run that you need from Buford Van Dam, Demond. I mean, once he gets going, that's the type of run that you can see from him, where he breaks several different tackles and he gets huge chunks of yards.
Mike Daggs does give us the confirmation that Hall of Famers have gold trim. Wow. That's a great look there. So here's Ray Bentley here with his gold trim helmet. And you can see it there, partner.
Yep, you see it now.
That is amazing. I love it. I love it. I'm going to put in an order for one, Mike Daggs. I need one.
I mean, when you got 3 Hall of Famers on your squad, you got to go ahead and give them a little bit of a nod, right?
Absolutely. I love that. That is awesome. You go to Twins here. Sight. What a catch. Oh, Bill Henry is rolling this drive.
And just take the body type of Buford Van Dam and almost exactly put it into Bill Henry. And that's basically what you got. He holds on through the hit, which was not a small one by Troy Loshaw, 12-season vet here in the league. And a one-handed catch to boot. I mean, just a great play.
You're going to go jumbo package here. Gonna go weak ISO. Bentley is hit right at the line of scrimmage. And on the tackle was inside linebacker Frank Smith.
Yeah, Smith was ready for him there. I don't think Bentley even saw him coming, was trying to sidestep the defender in the backfield there, and just got a shoulder pad in the kidney there.
Here's Mexico City's 2nd and goal. Handoff to Bentley. Bentley goes nowhere. Jordan Sipe stands at about 5'11". Really short guy to be playing quarterback. But you know, when I see him, when he takes those 1-2 step drops, you know who he reminds me of?
Who's
Gabriel Daniels.
Ooh.
Played with the University of Central Florida, then transferred to Oklahoma, and now he's going to be playing with the Oregon Ducks next season.
There's been a lot of those type of quarterbacks out there as well. I mean, Drew Brees is another one that I can think of that stands about maybe 6 foot tall, but he plays taller. And, Sipe plays very, very well, and he's been playing well tonight.
He sure has. 4th and goal, and Mexico City's going to settle for a field goal. Yeah, it looks like they barely got that one to go in. Tie ball game. 24.
It's been back and forth all game long. That we finally calmed down a little bit, just a little bit with the fireworks, but Baltimore has clawed their way back into the game. Mexico City has responded well. It's a whole new ball game now.
Stay tuned for SFL announcements on enhancements and new features coming to the progression system, plus the location and details on the 2024 convention. The SFL is committed to improving the league and its convention each season and the next level of play off the field, in the pool, and on the portal is coming soon. Here is Wigmore down the field to Ackerman.
And that was Itera out there in coverage on Ackerman. A bit of a mismatch, honestly, because Ackerman is a little bit on the taller side for a tight end, and 6'1", 224, able to get the nice wingspan up there, get the catch, reel it in, and that's a first down.
They come out in a twin set here as well. Single back formation. Warren Murray back in. They're going to send Irvin in motion to the top. Itera jumps out on the motion receiver. Oh, Warren Murray is down.
Oh, that's not good.
You're right. That is not good for Baltimore.
We'll have to see exactly what happened. Looks like he's walking off on his own power, so that's good. But leading rusher here for the Vultures, that's never a good sign. T-Roy Gaines, the next leading rusher, with a little over 160 yards this season. As looks like he comes out at his normal fullback position.
Yeah, and Hubba Kimbrell comes in, replacing Warren Murray here. Here's a handoff here to Kimbrell. Kimbrell outside, crosses midfield down to the 39, 38-yard line. What a big run by Hubba Kimbrell.
It looked like Hubba came in there and was like, "Hey, no problem. I'll go ahead and I'll run the ball. That's fine." And does a nice job. A good patient run, lets his blocks get up front. Good blocking by the offensive line and the fullback, and was able to spring it loose off tackle. Max Jackson, the third level of the defense, and that's a recipe for success on any run.
I can guarantee he probably ran back to the huddle saying, "Y'all must have forgot about the season I had last season with Las Vegas. Hand me the rock." There's Smith on the carry, picks up 5. Third string running back on the depth chart.
And that's going to be the only real issue, I think, Demond, is that how often is Hubba Kimbrell going to need to come out for a breath? You know, how is the cycle going to work for this backfield?
Yeah. Now we have T-Roy Gaines at the halfback spot. Oh, what a bad block there by Kimbrell. But Gaines does pick up quite a bit there, make it a 3rd and short situation, 3rd and 2.
Yeah, and you hit the nail on the head there, Demond. If Kimbrell was able to hit that block, then I think it would have been an even better run there for T-Roy. But that's the problem that you run into when you start shifting fullbacks and the tailback and halfbacks and the fullbacks.
Here's the 3rd string running back on the depth chart, nowhere to go, tackled and brought down by John Osiris. And this is going to force Baltimore to punt it away here.
Man, that's a killer. They're just in no man's land right now. No choice but to punt.
Yeah. They were on Mexico City's side of the field. I'm pretty sure, I can't say I'm pretty sure of it, but I do believe if Warren Murray is not injured, they probably go for that 4th and 2 or so. Maybe later in the 4th quarter they would, but here in the 3rd quarter, I think that was a great decision to punt it away. And you pin Mexico City right at their 11. And it's an interception. Can we see a trifecta for Alvin Mack and this Baltimore defense?
Can we go ahead and can we give the Retroid nice catch to the game to Alvin Mack here? Because this is just absolutely bonkers. Look at this.
Yes, sir.
He mitts it with one big old paw as he's falling backwards and grabs his 3rd interception of the game. Alvin Mack is a man possessed.
That was an outstanding catch. You have to be I can't even explain it as far as how absolutely focused you have to be to make that play happen as the middle linebacker. You know how much traffic is coming across your face, how much you got to look at and see. What a play by the defensive backer there. Here's a pass, and it is caught. And that's Mac Chima. That we haven't called his name in a long time. I want to say since the 1st quarter.
No, and he's one of those weapons. I mean, you've got so many different weapons. It's hard to pick and choose who you're going to throw to. And I think maybe just a bit of a busted route there. 2 receivers in the area, but Chima's still able to locate the football and bring it in.
Yeah, I think that was a 50Z tight end cross where the tight end runs a post to the sideline and the receiver runs a post to the middle of the field. But yeah, they did cross right in front of each other there. That could have been bad news. Here is Jack Wigmore, 5-step drop. Wigmore. Oh, what a pass and catch, and he crosses Hollywood Boulevard. Watch him go up. Watch the big fella here. Goes up, looking like Megatron here. Hold on, sir. Let me grab this out of there.
It's almost as if, because Chima was in the area as well, it's almost as if Chima was like, nah, I'll let you have it. That's fine.
He probably was whispering in his ear, do not jump. Do not jump. And there's Tarkenton. Put Baltimore up by 7. We're having ourselves a ball game here, and I'm enjoying the atmosphere of this game as well.
Well, and it's funny too, right? Like, especially with teams like Mexico City. Baltimore, we obviously know the caliber of their team, but with teams like Mexico City, especially this season, a little bit slow going offensively. Not the case here tonight. It's been a great game.
It absolutely has. And this is a nice return here by the return man, Jacob Morrison, the backup halfback. Gets that ball out past the 30-yard line. And he took this one 2-3 yards inside the end zone.
Looking to make that play. I mean, it's a tie game. Or it was a tie game, I should say. Baltimore just taking the lead, but Mexico City trying to respond. Still got a whole quarter left of football, but
yeah,
man wants to go out there and make a play.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that, my guy. First and 10 here for Mexico City. One-step drive. Oh, interception.
Wow.
This time it's from Frank Smith. And Jordan Sipe is having a bad day at the office, throwing the ball to the linebackers.
And it's a shame, too, because he started off throwing the ball so well. Mm-hmm. And you're absolutely right, Damon. Over the middle of the field has been the thorn in his side all game long, as he's now thrown 3 interceptions to Alvin Mack and now 1 to Frank Smith. I mean, you look at the numbers that we're having today. I mean, it's been basketball on grass. Just a disappointment there for Sipe to throw another pick over the middle.
It's 4 picks for Sipe so far in the day, and Irvin goes up and get another one. I want to know the total amount of points off of turnovers. If I can get that, I want to say Baltimore has maybe only scored twice, a field goal and a touchdown off of the turnovers that they've converted. Or forced, should we say. Maybe the statisticians can give us that update here pretty soon.
Yeah, looking through it, I think you're right. I think it's 10 points off of turnovers here tonight for Baltimore.
And here is Wigmore, handoff here to T-Roy Gaines. T-Roy Gaines picks up 2 yards there. And everybody put your 4s, your 12s, your 68s, and 86s in the chat. That's going to be the end of the 3rd quarter. We're heading into the 4th. You're watching the Simulation Football League presented by APM Music here live on the SFL YouTube network. We're going to take it to Chris Curtis for our
use of our rights. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or account to the game without the express written consent of the league office is prohibited.
Injury update on Warren Murray. He's still out with that sprained wrist, so he's questionable about the return of coming back. I'm your commentator tonight, Damon Simeon, and in the booth with me is Eric E.K. Vinson, a great middle linebacker with the Fort Worth Toros. And on stats, we have Justin Reeside and Ron Haynes. And if I'm not mistaken, I think Ron Haynes won the Statistician of the Year award. Here is Hubba Kimbrell. He picks up a few yards there.
It was looking like it could have gone for much, much more, Damon. The
I thought it was
definitely there. Yeah, it was one of those strange plays that just, boom, it's done.
Yep. Because he had open daylight there. But it just closed on him. They're going to give it back to T-Roy Gaines. Oh, T-Roy gets bounced around by Jeffrey Daggs, the Hall of Famer. Look at him with his gold stripings.
That has just tickled you pink all game long. As soon as you saw it, that has just been the apple of your eye, my friend.
It sure has, dude. It sure has, man. Here's Tarkenton, and that field goal is good.
Oh,
no, he didn't miss it. Oh, yes.
He missed it.
Wow. I thought it hooked right at the top of it.
Oh, man.
Talk about every inch count in the ball game, right?
Well, and he had another one like that, Damon, that just
Yeah.
barely squeaked through a little bit earlier in the ball game. Just this one didn't swing it quite enough there.
What a turnover on downs, should we say, for Mexico City. Bartley in motion. Here's Jordan Sipe underneath the center. One step drop. Takes a few more steps drop. And it's Bill Henry. The tight end has been coming up big all game long. That's going to be the 4th reception on the day. Already at 54 yards.
And that's the difficult part, Demond, is that Sipe wants to go to his tight ends. Where do the tight ends usually live? Over the middle of the field. Guess who's also in the middle of the field? Alvin Mack and Frank Smith. So it's a very tough decision for a quarterback to make when you know that your offensive game plan is going to the tight ends, but you can't go.
You're absolutely right. That's where tight ends live, and that's where the linebacker sits, right across the middle.
Yes, sir.
Single back formation here. Sipe takes one step drop. That pass is incomplete. Intended for 88. Don't see him on the roster.
Couldn't tell if that was Chris Baker or Alvis Whitted. I think they've got a couple different 88s out there for Mexico City, Damon.
Yeah, they do. There's 2 of them on the depth chart. You're right. I think there was one of. I think he came from the tight end spot. So I think it was Chris Baker. Oh, that pass is almost intercepted by Giovanni Bolt.
Well, and that's the other problem is if you end up overthrowing it, Baltimore's got themselves some pretty darn good safeties in Giovanni Bolt and Troy Loshaw. Sullivan Tyson, the 49th overall pick, he's no slouch either. So that's the risk that you're running here if you want to throw it to the tight ends.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And speaking of the SFL convention, that's where the Hall of Famers go into the hall. And Giovanni Bolt is one I would love to vote for. Oh, pick the 5th of the day. And this is going to be returned to the 20, the 10. And it's going to be a touchdown for the Baltimore Vultures and Enzo Bolt.
Oh, man. Jordan Sipe breaks the cardinal rule of quarterbacks. You never throw across your body back to the other side of the football field, and that's exactly what he did. Didn't get enough sauce on that football, and Enzo Bolt is just sitting right there, ready to take it back to the house.
Normally in this league, when you see a quarterback throw backside like that, it's on a deep post to the middle. He was throwing an out route towards the sidelines, and Bolt just jumped it and took it to the house. I mean, nobody in sight to catch him, and that puts Baltimore up by 2 scores.
And you're looking at Jordan Sipe's numbers there, 4 of 10, the last 10 passes that he's thrown, and 3 of the incompletions have been picks, 1 for a pick 6. I mean, he is just taking a swan dive here in the second half as far as productivity is concerned.
Wow. That drops his QBR to 72.2. He was up above 140 in the first quarter. When he had a great first half. And although he did have, I think he had 2 picks in that half also. But this second half has just not been going right for Jordan Sipe.
And honestly, if you do the math, 17 points off of turnovers, Mexico City is sitting pretty right now.
Yep, they are. Down by 2 scores. There's still a lot of time in this ball game. 8 minutes left here on the clock. Jordan Sipe got a catch right across the middle to his favorite target we saw early in the first half of Doug Spelling.
Yeah, and they're going to have to do a little bit more of that, Demond. I know the game plan was to kind of go the deep route there, find the tight end either over the middle of the field or streaking on a 9 route, but you're going to have to do some dink and dunking and be a little bit quicker about it.
Come out jumbo formation here. Handoff here to Ray Bentley. Bentley got a nice block there. Picks up a few more yards after crossing the 30 down to the 34. Man, that is a beautiful looking helmet.
And That's the reason he's a Hall of Famer, right? You're watching this and you're like, okay, he's dead to rights right there at the 30. No, he manages to get out close to the 35-yard line somehow, some way. Just a very impressive run there by Ray Bentley.
I'm not going to lie. I think there was one game and one game only that got Ray Bentley in the Hall of Fame, and that was the Season 9 championship. That dude went off. If you're new to the SFL and you haven't watched the Season 9 championship, Mexico City versus Chicago, I advise you go and pull it up in the SFL archives on YouTube. There's Sipe again. Incomplete.
I think he's just getting a little happy right now, DeMond. He's trying to make something happen. He's just firing fastballs over the middle there, trying to find something, make it happen, and it's just not working. Baltimore has had the middle of the field locked down for the most part. I mean, you wouldn't know it from the stats that Sipe has had. He's gotten most of his yards over the middle of the field, but it's been feast or famine for both of these quarterbacks. Wigmore has just been the beneficiary of 5 turnovers.
Yeah, they're going to turn the I-twins into an I-pro formation here now. Sipe on a 3-step drop. No pressure, but he got great pocket there. Here's Bill Henry. Oh, he puts a licking on Smith.
And that's the Jordan Sipe that you want to see, DeMond. You watch him go through his progressions, eventually finds old reliable Bill Henry along that near sideline, and Bill Henry is able to make a play and get the first down. Surprised he didn't step out of bounds there, honestly.
I think he did step out of bounds. I'm surprised we didn't get a challenge there, a retro challenge by the Baltimore coaching staff. This has been a good drive here for Mexico City. If I'm Baltimore, I'm challenging that spot of him stepping out, because I don't want this team to get anything going and rolling here. Here's Van Dam, and Van Dam takes a shot by Smith. He took one from Bill Henry, so he decides to deliver one on Van Dam.
Man, and Van Dam just hurdles over the defender, and Frank Smith just suplexes him back down into the turf. That was a great play.
Mexico City comes out in another I jumbo package. They're going to do a toss here to Bentley. Bentley gets held up on some blockers. Tackled and brought down, looks like, by Boat and Mack. Both on the tackle.
And it's tough when the blocks get made, DeMond, and the blockers aren't pushing their defenders down the field. And that's what Bentley is anticipating there on that run. Instead, he gets hung up. It's difficult for him to get out from behind them.
Yeah. 4 wide receivers here for Mexico City. Dumps it off to Spelling. Not going to pick up the first down there. Yard short. I'm going for it here, buddy, if I'm Mexico City.
Yep, 100% agreed. It's 4-down territory. You got to go ahead and go for it, being down 2 scores, running clock with about 5.5 to go.
For Mexico City, I'm running this right up the middle.
Got to.
With Ray Bentley. 4th and 1. 5:22 on the clock. Bentley gets a nice block, picks up the first down before being tackled by LaShaw.
And it's tough, DeMond, right? You know, us up here in the booth, we're thinking, yeah, just go ahead and just run it right up the middle. You got Van Dam as your big fullback there. But their bread and butter really has been that off-tackle play. Just barely gets enough there, but Bentley, he can break those.
Here's Sipe on a 5-step drop. That pass is caught and complete by Spelling. Nice throw. And I like what I saw there. Sipe, instead of him on a 1-step to 3-step drop, he took 5. Here's another 3. That pass is tipped. The 3-step drops, his 5 interceptions have all come on quick releases.
And it gives him time to actually set his feet, to actually scan the football field, go through his progressions. It forces him to take his time, right? On those short drops, especially because Sipe is still fairly young in this league, he has a tendency to head a little hot potato and just fire a laser over the middle.
He has 3 receivers to the top of the field there. Dumps off to Ray Bentley. Nice block here at the bottom. Ray Bentley goes Caesar 9 and puts a man in the shadow realm. Watch out, bench stacking paper. The Hall of Famer is coming through.
Man, you said that we hadn't talked about stacking paper a whole lot this game. I'm sure that old Ben did not anticipate us talking about him in this manner. Man, he just got absolutely thrown back into the Shadow Realm. You were 100% correct.
Looks like the same formation trips here. Back up, running back in. Down the middle of the field, incomplete. 4th and 4. Intended for Terrazas.
And honestly, Damon, I don't mind that play call. If you know it's 4 down territory, you know you're going to go for it, go ahead and take a shot at the end zone. Don't make a silly throw. Well, never mind. I guess it isn't 4 down territory. I take it back.
Sorry, you're down by 2 touchdowns. I think I'm oh, they're going to go. And this is going to be completed.
No!
Is he going to score? He's going to step out of bounds. Wow.
Wow.
Levante Richardson comes in on the field goal attempt and dips off in the flat. Look at this missed tackle by Marvin Hims. Steps out at the 9. 1st and goal for Mexico City. Wow, they fooled us, didn't they?
Head coach Ramos Lynn, he's got a bag of tricks up his sleeve, I guess. He just pulls that one out. Good Lord. Oh, we're sitting here thinking, why are they going for 3? And I'm sure that Baltimore was thinking the same thing. Caught him napping.
Side. Oh, that pass was almost intercepted.
Well, and that's the other side of the equation. You can't do that on the other side of a very impressive fake field goal. You can't just throw it right back to the other team. Come on, Sipe. Got to do a little bit better there, man.
Elijah Warfield on the pass deflection. Sipe, 337 yards passing. And why they show the 5 interceptions? Why not show the guys 2 touchdowns that he threw? Here's Sipe, 5-step drop. Got a receiver.
Wow.
It's Doug Spelling. Dougie. Oh, my partner. This game is bananas.
We have just had a little bit of everything. I mean, just go ahead and throw the fake field goal into it, why don't you? But, I mean, man, again, you want to talk about cojones, right? That was a cojones throw there for old Jordan Sipe. Fires it to his receiver, knows that he's going through some hand fighting one-on-one with the corner, and just trusts his receiver to make a play.
That was the 15th play of the drive. But you mentioned something very important about the throw. It was a big cojones throw, and here's why. Because Doug Spilling makes contact with the cornerback, and that pass is thrown before Spelling comes off of the initial contact with the defender. Wow. Awesome throw by Jordan Sipe to Doug Spelling. And here's going to be a return for Baltimore on the onside kick. Almost returns it for a touchdown to Mexico City's 26-yard line.
Man, we saw that a couple weeks back where you got to cover the return, man. Look at this. He's got all sorts of daylight there. Good job there by number 84. One of the hands teams, Kevin Swain, getting in there and making that initial hit, because otherwise, see ya. Bye-bye.
This game is something else. Can Mexico City hold up? Remember, first quarter, Baltimore was 1st and goal and gave up a sack that took them out of scoring a touchdown. Can Mexico City get them out of field goal range with a sack or 2?
Well, and that's a good stop right there. That's definitely a good start for Liam Ryan, just making that one-on-one tackle to prevent a big play from Mr. Big Play today, Ivory Irvin. But another head scratcher, Damon, is why go for the onside kick there when you got 4+ minutes to go?
I was just about to say that. I wouldn't have went for the onside kick there. I would have kicked the ball deep. And here's Hubba. Kimbrell gets the first down. Man, talk about using all of your strength and might to get that first down. One, it keeps the clock rolling because it doesn't go out of bounds or anything like that. But, man, he picks up the first down and keeps the ball in Baltimore's possession. And this clock is running.
Yep, and that's a key piece here. You know, it's a one-score game right now. With Mexico City's decision to go ahead and go for that onside and give Baltimore a short field, they are banking on their defense to stand tall, and they got to do it here pretty quick.
1st and 10 here for Baltimore. 4-3 defense for Mexico City. 3:17 on the clock. Handoff to the third-string running back. He picks up 3 yards.
And the other important piece of the equation, Demond, is that we still have not seen Warren Murray come back into the ball game with that wrist injury. So maybe it's a little bit worse than what the doctors were saying. Either way, that is an opportunity there for the Mexico City defense. You got to keep them from getting into the end zone, at the very least holding a 3.
Yeah, that wrist injury must be really hurting Warren Murray. Ontario Smith was the ball carrier on the last play. Here's another handoff. It's going to be to Kimbrell again, and this Mexico defense is fighting here inside the 10.
That's a great way to put it, Demond, because that was some fight there from Mr. Old School himself, John Osiris. No sweatbands, no sleeves, no gloves, no nothing. Just coming out there and hitting people. And he gets off his block and throws an arm out there to slow down the running back and slows down Kimbrell and doesn't give him an inch.
3rd and 5. Wigmore underneath the center. We've only seen one pass play on this drive.
Don't need to run one here.
2-minute warning. You're watching the Simulation Football League presented by APM Music here live on the SFL's YouTube network. Welcome back, everybody. Mexico City is hosting the Baltimore Vultures. I'm your play-by-play commentator, Damon Simeon, and Eric E.K. Vincent here in the booth with me, with Ron Haynes and Justin Reeside as our statisticians and the stat truck, and they're doing a fabulous job here tonight. T-Roy Gaines gets the handoff, breaks the tackle from Jeffrey Daggs. 1st down, Baltimore, and Mexico City has to burn a timeout.
And that was a key 3rd down, Demond. You have to get that stop if you're Mexico City. And on the other end, that is why T-Roy Gaines is in the Hall of Fame, because he makes plays. That was an effort play by T-Roy Gaines to get that 1st down and force Mexico City to start using their timeouts.
At the 3-yard line, handoff Baltimore, give it back to T-Roy Gaines. Looks like he picks up 2 yards there.
Rolled over to the defender a little bit, give him a little extra there.
Yeah. T-Roy is still in at halfback. Baltimore in the goal line defense. Mexico City in the goal line defense. Oh, he ran right by T-Roy. Who is that? 60? Was that 63, 69? I can't see. I didn't see the number.
I couldn't tell exactly who it was, but yeah, you're absolutely right. Just ran right past T-Roy. I don't think they were anticipating the off-tackle run there, Damon.
Yeah, I don't think they were. Oh, man. They could have been defensive tackle 63. Dwayne Robertson. I only saw the first number, but man, he ran. Yeah, it was 63. I can see him right now on the line of scrimmage. Another handoff into T-Roy. They give him a touchdown. T-Roy put the Vultures on his back, running 4 to 5 plays in a row and end up with a touchdown. And the Vultures just might come out of here with the victory.
It is next man up mentality, and this is about probably the hardest run that T-Roy has had here this evening. And good job by Mexico City stoning him right at the goal line, but I think T-Roy got just enough there to get him into the end zone. We're not going to get a booth review. The touchdown's going to stand.
I thought he got stood up right there at the line, at the goal line, but they gave it to him. And man, the wind has just been making Tarkenton balls just swivel to the left. on those field goal kicks.
Gonna have to line up on a different hash there, Demond.
Yeah, may need to, or even widen the hash and go college style. You know. Here is Jeffrey Daggs on the return. Spin move, tackle and brought down to the 23-yard line. We have a game update. Let's take it back to Cameron Irvine, back at SFL headquarters. Cam, take it away.
Damon, you're an SFL historian. I can't remember the last time I saw this. Doug Day with the one-handed pick six. This was 14-10 at the end of the third quarter. Seattle scored 38 in the fourth, 52-10 over Louisiana. Back to you.
Wow, 38 points in the fourth quarter. Cam, I never seen that outside of a sim that I ran the other day, but wow.
Just bonkers right there. Good grief.
That is bonkers, man. A pick six on a screen route. Wow. We have seen picks off the screens, but I don't think I've seen a pick six.
Not like that.
Here is Jordan Sybe. Oh, he got a man open. It's Jason Bartley to the 20-10. And we just may turn this game around. Hollywood Boulevard, 37-45. With 1 minute and 10 seconds left on the clock, they can go for an onside kick here, Vincent, and make it a ball game again.
Demond, it's crazy, right? I'm looking in the chat. Everybody's, saying GGs, all that. We're sitting here just shooting the breeze, talking about what's going on in the other game. Mexico City's got other ideas. They're keeping themselves in this ball game. 3 pretty decent pass plays, capped off with that last one there to Bartley, just waltzing into the end zone. And you're absolutely right. They've still got an opportunity to tie the ball game here. With 1:10 left to go, it's an outside chance, but it's a chance.
Wow. I mean, wow. It's all I can say. 57-yard touchdown pass from sight to Bartley. And, man, you talk about shattering the over-under?
Oh, no kidding.
They have shattered it.
Baltimore's
completely.
almost hit it themselves.
Absolutely. Oh, he lost it. Oh, he fumbled it. Baltimore recovered it. Wow.
How much more can they give us here, Tamon? I mean, look at this. Man, oh, man. Woo.
Yikes, man. Talk about fighting to the finish.
That is what two good teams do, right? And we talked about it at the top of the broadcast. These are two of the most storied franchises in our league's history, two of the best run front offices in the league, and you see it on display here this evening. Absolute thriller of a game.
My jaw done hit the floor.
Yeah, several times.
Man, this has been a heavyweight bout. I mean, you think about all the great heavyweight fights. Ali Foreman, Ali Frazier, Tyson, Douglas. Well, I don't know what that was. But how about this one? Holyfield, Riddick Bowe. Holyfield, Riddick Bowe 2. Holyfield, Riddick Bowe 3. Oh my goodness.
Oh, we'll add another one to the mix. We'll talk about my jaw in the floor during the course of this game because, man, oh, man, that was at least the fifth time that my jaw hit the floor over the course of this ball game. Just insane.
This has been a great game to call. Eric, I'm glad that I was able to have the opportunity to share the booth with you tonight. Man, I'm looking for many more opportunities of you and I working together. But we have to tip our hat off to both of these teams. Baltimore coming in at 1-3. They fought to the finish to get this win tonight. And Mexico City was looking to increase their win streak to 2 games after their last big win. I think last week over Louisiana, if I'm not mistaken. But man, what an outstanding game. EK, please bless us with your outtake on this game.
Just an absolute thriller of a ball game. An absolute pleasure to share the booth with you this evening, Demond. Can't wait to do it again. But man, oh man, I mean, you definitely touched on it there. Two tough divisions that both of these teams sit in. The South Division for Mexico City, big teams in that league there. And then the North Division, Baltimore is seeing Canton take over that division. And they can't have that. They can't have that. So now they're going to have to go out. They got to ball out a little bit harder. And they're going to have to win games like this against good teams like Mexico City. Both these teams are playoff quality teams. We'll just have to see how it all shakes out. But man, oh man, just what a thriller tonight from both of these teams. Both quarterbacks going absolutely ham during the beginning of the game. Sipe, with unfortunately the turnover bug bit him a little bit. Wigmore playing above his caliber so far this season. Absolute great game.
Spike threw for 432 yards. 432. Wow. Well, that's going to do it, folks. I'm your play-by-play commentator tonight, Damon Simeon, alongside EK Vincent. See you when we see you. Peace.